I love challenging things. And this is something weird, new for me, but I just got finished doing a fresh challenge that I plan on doing this year. And I plan on doing this 3 more times. I just got finished doing a 7-day fast, and I wanted to share with you what my thoughts of the process, thoughts of what I experienced were, and let you see kind of inside of my line of thinking and why you want to challenge yourself too. We're going to be talking about that this week on episode 212 of The Relaxed Male. This is The Relaxed Male, a show that comes to you each week helping men to remove the nice guy from their life so they can actually live their life on their terms. Join the host, certified coach Brian Goodwin, as he helps men step out of their heads and become free from the thoughts that bind them. Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Male. I am your host, Brian, and I am a certified men's coach who assists men who are just neck deep in the suffering of their life. Men who are going through a divorce or going through just rough times at work or just family life is not quite what you're wanting. I help these men find the courage, the confidence, and the thoughts to be able to navigate that in a effective way. Because men, we go through our struggles every day, day in, day out. We have different struggles. We have different fights. We have different battles that we end up having to take on. Life can come at us fast, and sometimes we become so overwhelmed by what we're doing that we don't know what we're doing. And that's where I want to step in. I want to help you get to the root of what your suffering is, help you change the way you're thinking so you can actually step back, look at your life, and figure out that you can relax. Even in the middle of a chaotic windstorm, you can relax, because when you start to relax, you can actually take in all of life, take in everything, and you can enjoy it. And each week we look at what it takes to change how you look at your life, how you can be better, stronger, more successful. And on the other side, all of that without ever playing the victim. Welcome, men. Welcome, welcome. I am, again, like I said, I'm Brian, and we are on episode 212, which is amazing that we have gotten that far. 212 episodes. We are well into 2024, and I just got finished doing my first big challenge that I wanted to face this year. And that was, and first off, you're all going, what? You're pushing yourself. You're making yourself do hard things. Oh yeah. And I think you need to be doing hard things too, because our life, thanks to modern life, we are very pampered. We have a very cushy lifestyle. My great grandparents were born in the 1800s, and my granddad died in 1990, I think 1991. And he saw from the introduction of the automobile to planes, and planes to the space age, all these great and wonderful leaps he got to witness. But one of the cool things that happened to him when he was young, and I remember hearing this story, was when he was 13, his parents had put him out with a cattle gang or group, and he was supposed to be the cookie. He was the guy who's going to be cooking meals, serving beans, things like that for this trail drive. And they were pushing cattle to wherever it was they were going. And so he was gone for a little while, like a year, maybe 2. And when he got back from doing that job, his parents had moved away, gone. And he said, well, I guess that's time for me to be a man. And so he started living his life. We're sitting here going, well, we can't be working until, you can't be having kids doing stuff until they're 18. I was like, no, this was my great granddad experienced real life. And he went through real life. He had the hardships. Eventually he saw his parents one day down in Austin. They were just walking across the street and he ran into them and talked to them. He said for maybe 30 minutes and standing there on the street on Congress Street in Austin. And then they said, all right, bye. And he never saw them again. To have hardships in your life. We as humans, before all the comforts came in, we had challenges all the time. Not just how am I going to feed myself? How am I going to feed my family? But it was also, we've got calves being born in the middle of a blizzard. How do we handle that? How do we do that? We do the hard things. We do the challenging things. My great granddad went through the Great Depression. That changes how you look at stuff. When all of a sudden you can't afford anything, you're going out busting up furniture strictly so you have enough food. I mean, you would go off and he would make large sandwiches for the energy. You ate for the energy, not so much for the pleasure. Now, it was good when you did enjoy the food, but it wasn't all the time, let's just eat until we're stuffed. We eat what's on our plate. And that's where that whole thing came from. That whole line of thinking of eat everything on your plate. Do not let that go to waste, because sooner or later, you're not going to have that food. And it's been due to government, means we've been depression free way too long. We need to have an economic depression happen. And because our prices are way out of whack, and it'll happen again. It'll happen here sooner or later. And yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be crappy. We're going to have people who don't know how to handle themselves. They're going to think because they only ate once a day that they're starving to death, because we use food now as a buffer. When we don't have a good day, we go, and some of us may pop up a bag of popcorn, microwave popcorn, and eat 2 or 3 bags of it. Others of us go and we will pour a salad bowl full of cereal and eat that for breakfast. Some of us go and we'll buy 2, God forbid, Big Macs. We'll go to a fast food joint and we'll eat a couple things. We'll go to a buffet and we'll eat until we cannot walk. And I understand that, because Jesus Christ, the price of buffets these days, I'm going to get my money's worth, by God. But we don't eat for sustenance anymore. And that's the big thing. That's the reason why we have an obesity problem. We eat to comfort ourselves. We comfort ourselves because we have not done anything hard. We need hard things in our lives. We need hardships. We need challenges. And that's the reason why I did a 7-day fast. I wanted to try it, because 2 years ago, in February 22nd of 2022, a nonprofit group for veterans was running a challenge. And it was, can you carry 22 pounds on your back and walk 22 kilometers, which is 13.1 miles or something like that. And so I went to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and did it. I walked I did the laps and did the laps and did the laps. And at the end, yeah, I could barely walk, but I did it. I completed that movement, that whole length. I ended up taking a wrong turn the first round, because I was just walking. I wasn't going to try to keep up with everybody. And we had some not professional, but recreational ruckers who would strap on, 25, 50 pounds on their back and go walk 20 miles every weekend. And so they were used to it. And sorry, I wasn't, I'm a truck driver. I wasn't used to walking that distance. I knew I could, because I've always been a walker. I used to, whenever I was going to see my great grandparents, and I was 13, 14, 15 years old, one of the things I would do is I would go and walk to the next town. Why? Why not? What else is there around? I would be gone all day. I'd be back in time for supper. And that's all they really cared about. And I would tell them about what I did and all that. And sometimes I would just hang around the house. And other times I was, out adventuring. I wanted to see if I could walk. I've always kind of challenged myself, had that ingrained sense of wanting to challenge myself. And there's times that I challenge myself and realize, yeah, I'm not doing that. Because whenever I lived in Amarillo, and drove, I used to live in Canyon, and I would work in Amarillo. And I had a bike, and I was wanting to see, all right, well, let's see, can I ride my bike from the house in Canyon to my work in Amarillo back? Answer is yes, barely. Because after that, I was not ever doing that. I never attempted that little stunt ever again. I mean, it was a fun run, especially whenever you got, out a little ways past, right around the area where the, Palo Canyon's at. But, cause there's a couple of little dips and valleys and crevices and things like that drove through. And so you got some pretty good speed, and that was a lot of fun. Coming back wasn't quite as fun, but that was part of the roundabout package. And so after that, I'm just sticking my bike in the back of the car, and I'm going to drive to wherever I want. And then I'll ride my bike around and then drive back to back to the house. I never tried, like I said, I never tried that again. I had a mountain bike, so it wasn't a road bike. It wasn't one of those ultralight bikes. It had some pound and weight to it. It was the pre-Walmart, mongooses. And if you knew anything about mountain bikes, Mongoose for a while was a premier brand. And then they decided, hey, we're going to start doing our manufacturing in China, and their quality went to crap. And so, yeah, you don't buy mongooses unless you're in Walmart now, and they're not quite as high quality as they used to be. Well, that's neither here nor there. So, but I've always liked kind of challenging myself, trying things, just to see if I could do it. But one of the things that after I did the walk in 2023, I didn't do anything. And I noticed that through that time, I had a lot of really discontent, I guess or uneasiness and just kind of a restlessness to me. And so I got to looking, and the main thing I noticed that had changed is I really wasn't pushing myself in 2023. I was more busy, focused on trying to get the relaxed male up and moving, and wasn't looking at myself. I mean, I wasn't doing anything except for working on relaxed male, because I didn't work on the house at all. And I got around to looking a couple weeks ago, I got to looking around, and yeah, there's a lot of issues that cropped up because I was not paying attention to the house at all. So I've got a lot of work to do come this summer or spring. So, but anyhow, I wanted to kind of, expound upon what I experienced, because I chose to not eat any food whatsoever for 7 days. Started on Sunday, time I would need a calendar. I'm going to do this live and in person, people. And so let's see here, calendar.google.com. There we go. All right. So on the 7th of January was my first day that I did not eat any food. Janet, my wife, she was a little nervous about it. She had her thoughts, and I had my thoughts about it. And mainly the thoughts were, okay, we've got this. This isn't anything drastic. This isn't anything that's really going to push me. And I figured, yeah, we're good. We're not going to have to sweat this all that much. Well, Monday came along, and there was a couple things that I noticed. First off, yeah, there's a bit of hunger. I mean, first day I had hunger there too. There was hunger, but it wasn't I wasn't doubled over in hunger pains, but there was a bit of, I felt hungry. I wanted to eat, but it wasn't anything pressing. It wasn't like I've got to eat, got to eat, got to eat. It wasn't a monkey on a rampage beating on my brain. It was just there. It was just a little nagging signal going, you want to eat, you need to eat, you need to eat. Day 2, I got, a little bit of hunger pains and I mean, it wasn't, again, wasn't doubled over or anything. It wasn't, oh God, I'm going to die. I got to eat type of stuff. That's, people who do that, they're being over dramatic. Sorry. If your stomach hurts that bad, you're having cramps, you need to fart is what the problem is. But I did have increased thoughts. Now, I am going to let y'all know, I'm going to be talking bodily functions in this thing a bit. So if you turned off by it, okay, cool. But I'll try to make it as couth as possible, but at the same time, make sure you understand what I'm talking about. So day 2, main thing that really surprised the heck out of me is every time I peed, and I peed more than what I normally do, which I figured it was because I was drinking about it. I was planning on drinking a gallon of water a day because I knew that you get most of your water. You get a good portion of your water. I'm not going to say most, but you get a good portion of your water intake from the food you eat. And a lot of people don't believe that, but at the same time, it's true. You get most of the water that you take in from the food, or a good portion of it. I keep saying most, but a good portion of it from the food you eat. So I knew I was going to need to increase my water intake. Besides, I wasn't going to have any Cokes. I was only going to be having coffee and water. So no Cokes were in the mix. So I bought a lot of water, and I drank about a gallon and a half that first day. And about that time, that's when I kind of realized, you know what? I don't want to limit my water intake. I want to drink as much water as I want. But at the same time, I was a bit fearful of drowning out electrolytes in my system. So I went ahead and I take about two teaspoons of salt, I guess would be a good amount, about what I was taking. I would put about 2 teaspoons worth of salt into my coffee cup, add some water, kind of swish it around a little bit and drink it. And oh God, salt water tastes horrible, but I wanted to get a little salt in my system just so that I had, some resemblance of electrolytes in there. So I kept up and drank about a gallon and a half the first day. Still, all my pee was just a really dark color. And looked online, and they were like, yeah, it's, if you're not drinking enough water. I'm like, holy smokes, man, that was a gallon and a half. So third day, same thing. I mean, I just had dark urine all the way through the day and drank another gallon and a half. I went through 3 gallons in 2 days, and I bought 5 gallons of water. I ended up buying a 6th gallon while I was on the road. But the third day, I had a poo, and that was the only last solid poo that I had during that time. It was on the third day, which was a Tuesday. So Wednesday comes along. The hunger's still there. I'm still, I'm noticing food every place. I dread having to go fill up the truck. But every time I walk in, I get hit with all the beautiful, amazing aromas of a truck stop. And it's all the nice, fried, greasy, awesome food. And they had, over in Okima, where I'll stop from time to time, they have crispy, crunchy chicken, which is, kind of a Cajun-y, slightly spicy chicken strips type of thing. And, oh, wow. I mean, they're usually pretty good, but at the same time, boy, those things smelled amazing. But at the same time, I wasn't crippled by it. And the whole time, I mean, I had my thoughts. I was hearing the thoughts of, oh, go ahead and go eat. Oh, you've done good. You trying to convince myself I need to go eat, go grab food. And I'd walk through the chip aisle to go to the bathroom, and I found myself, I had stopped and I was looking at chips, like, which one do I want to get? And I'm like, no, you have to be very intentional. We have to keep in the present. Don't be wandering off somewhere. So I had to mentally grab myself and kind of mentally shake myself and go, no, dude, stop it. Let's go. And so go to the bathroom and then enjoy the smells all through day 4 and 5. Still had a bit of darker urine than what I'm used to, but it had started to lighten up. And by the 5th day, it was basically just a really bright yellow instead of a dark. But day 5, I also ended up having to go to the bathroom again. And what really surprised me about that one, though, is I was all of a sudden, it was like one of those type of issues where all of a sudden it just kind of came on quick and it came on fast and it came on hard. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I hopped out of the truck and ran in, and I went to the bathroom, but it was an oily stool. I'd never heard of oily stools until I saw this. And I was just like, wow. Okay. So that's what they mean when they say oily stools. And it does. It looks like an oil slick. It's just kind of sitting on top, and it's kind of, it looks like oil. All right. I mean, it's brown oil, but it's oil. And so, cleaned myself up and stuff and flushed, and it kind of surprised me again. I was looking at that, and everything was saying, it's like, well, this is a signal that you need to stop. And I'm like going, really? That's my first one. We're going to try. We're not going to stop yet. My brain wanted to go, oh, see, there you go. You're doing this wrong. You're killing yourself. You better not do this anymore. Let's stop. Let's get out of here. Let's go find something to eat. And no, I decided, you know what? Let's use the thinking brain. Let's use the prefrontal cortex of our mind and utilize the logic. That's the first time. All right. Let's see if we have any more. If we keep having through the day, if I'm still oily pooing, if I'm pooing enough oil out that I'm afraid Exxon's going to come along, then okay, all right, I'll look at stopping then. I'll have my reason why, and we'll stop. But it never happened again. Day 6, day 7. Normal enough. Day 7, though, was real fun because I actually went to Walmart to go do shopping, and I went ahead and started buying for myself again because, Sunday I'm off my fast, and then Monday, Tuesday, the following week, I'm going to be working. And I knew the big celebration meal that I was going to have for providing myself a hard time, or providing myself this challenge, is a hard time. I gave myself a bit of a hard time. All right. So, but anyhow, we're going to have gumbo tonight. So this is Sunday anyhow. So I went to Walmart, and I had to buy some other things. And I always swing by the outdoor section because, I like to look at camping stuff. I like to camp. And while I was over there, I kept smelling the rotisserie chicken on the deli side. And this is on the opposite side of Walmart. I would just believe that smells really good. And I was smelling the rotisserie chicken everywhere. Your smell gets incredible when it comes to food. And it was amazing. It smelled wonderful. You could smell the different, going to smell the different spices. The spice rack was just a heaven of, no wonder, you can't take dogs in there. They'd be smelling everything. Everything smells good. But also I ended up having, how they tell you don't buy when hungry. You don't buy unless you are very mindful when you're fasting, because holy smokes, man, I wanted to go off and I wanted to get these chips and those chips and that chip and these chips and grab some of them pretzels and so. And I know pretzels are bad for me because if I eat a bag of pretzels, I am going to have pretzel shits later on. All right. That's just the meat of the problem. They just run right through me. I don't know what it is about what they use for the yeast and stuff, or for the flour. I can make pretzels and be okay. But if I eat a bag of pretzels, a 1 pound bag of pretzels, by the end of the day, I've got the trots, and it's horrible. But, I went off and I got around to looking, and I was like going, holy smokes, I bought like 4 bags of food, 4 bags of snacks for 5 days. No, we ain't doing this. So I got a hold of myself, set everything back, and was like, all right, we're going to get our typical pistachios. We'll relent and get some pork skins and some pretzels. And that's all the snacks that we're doing. And some of y'all are going, what you're doing? You eat that many snacks in a week? It's like, yeah, I do. I drive. I'm a bored eater. So that's one of the things, because I want to start reducing my bored eatership. So what did I do then? And that's one of the things what we'll look at in the results, because it's the thoughts. And so day 6 and 7 came along, and I went ahead, and once the day was over, got home, got all the stuff for the gumbo that we're going to have tonight and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait until midnight. I wanted to stay up until midnight. And then at 12:01, I'm going to have myself a bowl of Bluebell cherry vanilla ice cream. And by damn, I did, with chocolate, Hershey chocolate sauce all over the top. Because why? Because I wanted it, damn it. I earned it, damn it. And so I did, and relished it. And it was the most incredible tasting Bluebell ice cream you ever had. I mean, I went off and made a mess. I mean, the dogs were enjoying the hell out of my beard, and I'm wearing the same sweatshirt I wore last night. So I've got chocolate stains on it. So now I look like some slob, but at the same time, oh, that was good stuff. That was such a good thing. And I felt good with it. It felt nice to end my fast in that way. And so from there, I went to bed, woke up to a freezing house because the fire had gone out and all that. So then we've been fighting to get the house warmed back up to a decent level. But that is, that's day 8. So what did I do? So as I mentioned, I'm a bored eater. And one of the things that I wanted to learn about going on a fast is I wanted to focus in and pay attention to what my thoughts were. Number one thing is I just wanted to challenge myself. If I failed, okay, it's nothing big, but it's not a hard challenge. Not eating for 7 days really isn't that hard. If you listen to what your mind is saying, or if you want to live an unintentional life, then yeah, it's going to be really hard, because you're going to find yourself with a bag of chips in your hand and wondering how the hell those chips got in your hand. But if you pay attention to what your thoughts are, you can catch yourself at before it happens. But I wanted to see what my thoughts were. And most of the thoughts were just kind of the naggy type of thought of, hey, you want to go, let's eat. Oh, that's pretty nice. You would like to have that, wouldn't you? That would be really nice treatment. I mean, these are the kinds of thoughts that I was having. And there's a few times where I wanted to feel sorry for myself. Like a couple of my friends found out I was doing a fast because I told them. And, so they were having fun with me by sending me pictures of what they were eating. And sometimes it was like, oh, those freaking dickheads. God dang. Why are you doing this to me? You're doing, what's wrong with you? And, they're doing it for whatever reason. They're doing it because they think it's funny. All right. They're also more than likely doing it because the fact that I'm doing something challenging, and that brings up to them a feeling that, they're not doing much with themselves in some way or another. So they would like to they hope that, deep down they may not really want me to fail, but there's a little part of them that goes, I hope he fails. And that's okay. They can hope that I fail. It doesn't affect my relationship with them, because I see how they're dealing with their own thoughts, and they're doing it for their multiple reasons. And one of the reasons is, one, just to give me a hard time. And that's great. I love the fact that's part of what makes a man wonderful, is because we do have a sense of humor, especially when things are rough. When the fit hits the shan, that's where our dark humor comes in. And that's one of our coping mechanisms, is we deal with stuff in a very darkly humorous way. And a lot of people will look at it and go, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Well, you talk to anybody, a medic who has gone through a war, they're going to have dark humor. And that is just because that's how men are. And that's good. We want men to have those darkly humorous times, because that's what it takes for us to be able to cope, to get out from behind whatever the discomfort is. And yeah, I had a lot of discomfort in this fast because I was hungry. It's not comfortable. It's not pleasant, but I also was able to realize this is what hunger is. Me just going in raiding the fridge because I want to raid the fridge because I'm bored is not hunger. And that's when a lot of us go to raid the fridge, when we grab a snack, when we grab a bag of chips, when we eat that tub of ice cream, is not because we're hungry, but because I'm watching television. I'm not catching all the satisfaction I want. So let's get a little extra dopamine. So those are our reasons that I did a fast. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see what I was able to do. Was I able to go 7 days? And I've got 3 more fasts to do. And one of those, I'm getting around to being pretty sure I want to try a 7-day. The one drawback that I noticed is that 7 days was the longest freaking week known to man. Wednesday came along and I could have sworn it had to be close to Friday. And I was a little more than miffed to find out, no, I've still got a whole more 4 days to go. I was just like, really? 4 more days? Oh my God, I'm only on, it's only Tuesday. But it was only Tuesday, and that was okay. And you have little points of breakdowns. You have little points of stumbles. You have little points of, well, this ain't fair type of stuff. Even when you do it to yourself, you're going to go, well, this ain't fair. Well, yeah, I know it's not fair, but you put yourself in that lack of fairness. So build a bridge and get over it. And you get over it and you become better. You become stronger. And this is why I want you to push yourself, because you do have the ability to accept challenges. Doing hard things is scary. It's frustrating. It's uncomfortable on many different levels. But when you get done on the other side, you become a better person for it. You become a stronger person for it. You find out that you have the skills to do stuff that you never thought possible. You think better of yourself. You think better of the people around you, and you are stronger. That's the epitome of it. You aren't willing to just complain and bitch about, the slight comforts in your life anymore, because you know what real discomfort is. Oh, the television's out. Well, okay, cool. I guess I'll read a book then. Or cool, I'll go ahead and I'll keep working on my business then. I'll keep doing this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do, since I can't have the comfort that I want. All of a sudden, you're not beholden to the external comforts that you are used to having. When you challenge yourself to something difficult, something challenging, even if it is you want to try pitting yourself against Mother Nature for the weekend and going out camping with just a few things. Maybe you're going to do an intermittent fast. You don't have to do a complete and total 7-day fast. Maybe you want to do an intermittent fast where from 6 to 8, you've got that 2-hour window that you can eat. And if you don't eat in that time, all right, well, sorry, dude. Better luck next time. You get sidetracked, you get pulled away from something. All right, sorry, we got this. That's where the benefits of a challenge comes at you. So guys, with that, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for the opportunities that you have provided me. I have right now one position left open for the free 6-month coaching package. Once that one person fills up, man, it's at a 300. It goes up, and it's going up. It's not much. It's not going up to, it's not going up to the full $6,000, but you will never see the free coaching package ever come about again. But you will have the $300. You're going to have a package that you can do a 6-month coaching package for 95% off. And that one's going to be coming up soon. So get ready. If you're wanting an opportunity to get 6 months of coaching for free, dude, we've got it. It's coming up. It's here. Your opportunity is coming. All you have to do is shoot me an email, Brian with a Y at relaxedmail.com. And that's mail like a dude, relaxedmail.com. And just in there, you put a subject, can be free coaching, or or somewhere in the body, talk about, hey, I'd like to get the free coaching package. But don't be too upset if I wind up replying. It's like, sorry, man, we're full. That one's gone away. I can offer you a package for $300 because we're down to the wire now. So if you are interested and you want coaching, I'd love to be able to coach you. And if you want free, beautiful. Let's do free. If you want to go ahead and start paying the $300 one, all right, man, I will take that too. We can go ahead and start filling up the $300 mark, because that one's not going to last long either. So guys, with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening. Y'all have a great rest of the week. Go out there. Think of something challenging, because you need a challenge in your life. You need a little bit of hardship, even if it is man-made hardship. Find something to make your life a little bit harder, just so that you become a little more grateful about what the good things are. So guys, thank you very much for listening. We'll see y'all next week. Till then, bye.